12 years old, the first day of school. I was on the bus and I saw her getting off another bus. And I said to my friend, look at that girl, she's gonna be my girlfriend one day. He's like, yeah, right. I said, if she is, she is. And lo and behold, 2 years later, we're going out.
I'm looking for a girlfriend who loves music.
I like the physical built ones. I like the kind of big, buff ones.
Equality, you're on the same level. You're both human beings.
Like long legs and good teeth.
100% pure honesty.
My thing is, like, they should treat me like they would treat their mother.
Someone who really wants to be there for me.
Is somebody with the same religious goals.
So someone from Hawaii, someone hopefully Chinese.
The gay Christian man.
Yeah, he better have money, he better have a nice car, he better pay for everything.
Someone that's a good kisser.
Of course, he'd have to be funny and funky.
I would like for my partner to be a virgin too.
Honest and trusting and definitely somebody will laugh at my jokes.
Young, old,
rich, poor,
gay, straight,
popular jock or super cool art freak.
It doesn't matter who we are.
Sooner or later, most of us want to hook up with another person.
Okay, we're not just talking about marriage.
We are talking about love and friendship, and for some people, sex.
Being attracted to someone, having intense do-or-die feelings for them, even falling in love can happen pretty easily.
But actually connecting with someone, building a good relationship can be tough.
Dating error message, relationship not working.
I was used more as a, I hate to say it, as a trophy for him. Because, I mean, when we were around his friends, he would be like, talking my ear off, be all over me and stuff like that. But when it was just me and him, it was like we never talked or anything.
It's like if you have someone telling you that you're not doing something right, it's like you don't really even want to make the effort.
If I say something, she shouldn't necessarily laugh at me if I say it, you know, make fun of it.
He didn't like something I said and he raised his fist back like he was gonna hit me. And I jumped and my friend jumped. And I knew right then, I was like, this is not right.
Relationship not working, say what you've learned and restart.
Maybe one reason why connecting is so hard is because there's all these rules about men and women and what we're supposed to be like, and how we're supposed to act based on those rules.
You know, rules like women are supposed to look hot, but be nice, and men are supposed to look cool and be tough.
Nobody ever talks about those rules, but we all know how to follow them.
Magazines like 17 and YM, they don't give the whole array of what a girl should be, especially an Asian person.
And I remember getting a lot of information from magazines about how to interact with boys. One being like, ask him a lot of questions, show a lot of interest in what he does.
Girls were supposed to be, you know, quiet. You weren't supposed to have much of an opinion. You definitely weren't supposed to sleep with anyone.
You know, the girls should be glamorous and beautiful and really cater to their man's needs.
It was almost more important that you had a date than what kind of a relationship it was.
Or he'd make fun of me about the things that I like or about the clothes or especially the music I liked. He used to make fun of me about that all the time. You know, oh, punk rock, you know, that's not for you, you know.
Anytime I was speaking, like in the middle of my sentence, he would completely change the subject. Like he just wouldn't even listen to what I was saying.
I stopped doing that. I just completely changed. I started dressing how he wanted me to dress. Basically, I took the real Vanessa and I put her in a little box, you know, and I locked it, and I just became another Vanessa, you know, for this person.
Becoming someone else? Giving up something to be liked or loved? Is that what it takes to get a date?
From the producers of I Saw Who You Kissed last summer and Shriek 2 comes a new motion picture for everyone who's ever wanted a date. She was the new girl about to enter the perfect high school where she found...
It's not like other schools where you have to be popular to have a boyfriend. Everybody has a boyfriend.
Everybody?
But was this news too good to be true? Every girl had a boyfriend, but at what price? What was going on with all the girls at the perfect new school? What was it that the new girl could see, but not even her best friend would talk about? Why was everyone missing some part of themselves?
Not everybody, just the girls.
Just the girls? What's up with that?
Well, to get a boyfriend, you kind of have to give something up of yourself. It's no big deal.
No big deal?
It used to be you had to give up your opinions and your ideas. That was a lot of work. Oh, and my freshman year, my boyfriend wanted me to give up my best friend. That was a total drag.
Was it too big a price to pay for social acceptance and a guaranteed date?
But you didn't give up anything and you have a boyfriend.
Well...
Hey!
Hey, where have you been? Where have you been?
Oopsie. Oops, your brain fell out again. Your brain fell out.
She'll be back. The prom's next week.
What They Gave for Love, the movie that shows you what it really takes to get a boyfriend.
You know, I really don't miss my brain. It's not like it was doing me any good socially.
It may seem like a horror movie about girls who willingly give up body parts to get a boyfriend. It's just about as sci-fi stupid as it gets.
But the fact is that girls and women have been forced to do some pretty weird stuff in order to hook up with a man.
Up to 100 years ago in China, some girls had their feet bound and mutilated in a practice called binding.
By the time they were adults, their feet were the size of a 2-year-old's.
Which was considered very sexy.
These women couldn't walk, but they had husbands.
I think it's important that people remember that a relationship doesn't determine your value.
Because I'm not thinking, okay, I better hold on to this because it's my last chance, and if I don't have a relationship, I'll die. I can think, okay, my life is good. Will this relationship make it better?
In our world, how common is it for us to give up things for the one that we love? Maybe it's not the same as having our feet broken and giving up the ability to walk. But how about goals, ambitions, activities? Should one person automatically give up those things for another? What does that cost? And who pays for it?
I used to be afraid to be who I really was, you know, that I was always trying to be who I thought they wanted, the type of girl that I thought they wanted to date or that they usually dated.
The thing that's very, very important to me is to be supported and encouraged to be exactly who and what I want and need to be.
You're never going to be happy with somebody if you're always pretending to be somebody else.
The rules that women are supposed to live by don't seem very fair. But what about the rules for guys? What code are we supposed to follow?
Basically, you're supposed to be strong, like tough, because we live in a world of conflict, and the men are cast as protectors, fighters, warriors.
I was always told to defend myself because you don't want to show, you know, that you're scared or, you know, that you don't want to fight because that was like a bad thing.
A couple of kids went by and they had a lot of anti-Jewish things to say, anti-Semitic things to say, and it was sort of like, well, we're not gonna fight because what are we gonna gain by beating them up? But yet it was like, somebody's dissing me, somebody's degrading me, well, we're not gonna ignore it, we have to fight.
Well, I went to all guys high school, and homophobia was rampant, to say the least, at my school. The last thing you wanted was for someone to call you a faggot or gay.
Music. Guys weren't supposed to be in music. And I remember that was the joke of the wrestling team.
You know, if you see a boy acting in any way that isn't right and, you know, it's supposed to be like a man, then you can call him gay, and that'll get him right back in line.
The fact that guys don't sing, you know, only the Fruit Loops get up there and dance across the stage, and we were wrestlers, and we were supposed to be the big, you know, tough men and slam people to the mats. And
a lot of guys, they falsify their own image to get as far away from that other image as they can. You can do that either through fighting a lot. You can do that a lot by just calling girls derogatory names.
They automatically assume that I must be gay, because why would a man care about what other men feel or what people feel unless he's gay? Guys aren't supposed to care about that. They're supposed to care about getting sex, and that's about it.
So where do these rules for guys come from? From real men, of course.
Come with me if you want to live.
The greatest action moments in movie history all start with one man.
In the movies, real men are action heroes who are always in control.
I don't see it that way.
Their single-handed toughness makes it impossible to hurt them.
You've never seen me very upset.
They never get killed, even by huge armies. We know they're powerful by their really big guns, their cool cars, and their hot women. Once in a while, you see an action hero with a woman fighting by his side. But the rules say that even if she gets to carry a gun, the ultimate source of movie power, she still has to wear fewer clothes than the real man.
Those sort of movies, they make you have an ideal that you're not going to live up to. But yet, if you're not going to live up to that, then maybe you're not a man. So you're in a catch-22 situation.
Bingo. And it's not just movies that give us these messages.
Not yet.
Television, music videos, advertising, even video games portray real men having power, and lots of it. Now the problem is we live in the real world where for 24/7 we're human beings, not action heroes. And it doesn't matter how much money we have or how much we can bench press, we can still get scared and we can still get hurt, especially by the people we care about. And because of the rules for men, when we do get hurt or scared, some of us try to get control, and we may end up hurting the people that we love.
He'd do like the littlest things, and his dad would hit him. He said one time his dad like broke his nose or something like that. Well, he trusts no one now.
She sat me down and said she was pregnant. And my first reaction was anger. I don't know why, but I felt angry, like something she did.
The only emotion that's okay to display is anger.
That being vulnerable, like you say, is like, I don't know. It's like I don't make myself that way, you know, and I choose not to.
Because we are taught under no circumstances should we allow ourselves to be vulnerable.
You know, I'd rather be, you know, on top of my game. And like being vulnerable to someone was just a foreign feeling. I never had that.
For some of us, being on top of our game means being on top of our relationships. Translation, you gotta control your girlfriend.
Oh, he would get angry about who I hung out with on a Friday night. If it happened to be a boy, he would get angry about things that I wore. If he felt I was wearing a shirt that was too low cut.
You know, if you don't stop telling your mom and your family things, you know, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm just going to, you know, stay with my friends. I'm just going to leave. And I would be like, okay, I'm sorry, you know, I won't talk to them anymore if you don't want me to.
I really started liking her as I started talking to her. And I was thinking in my head of doing the right thing instead of doing what I've done in the past, you know. And I wouldn't like yell at her or anything like that, but it was more like questions, like 21 questions every time, you know, who are you with, you know, what are you doing, you know.
And he thought that women should be submissive and the man should be the head of the household and that kind of thing, which is kind of how I was raised too, but not in that sense. You know, I do believe that the man should be the leader, but not, you know, domineering.
Well, I mean, I like being a leader and, you know, being in control, but I'm talking about like in a relationship, you know, to be the person in my relationship, to be this person to always want to do what I want to do and always want to, you know, just say what I want to do and she has to always listen to me and you know, in that sense, I don't enjoy that. I think it should be equal. I enjoy it more.
And she was always expected to conform to that submissive role and let him kind of tell her what to do and who she, you know, needed to be and how she needed to dress. And it just kind of escalated from there. And so he would hit her.
He would punch her. He would slam her into the lockers and slap her and call her all kinds of sluts and whores and stuff like that. And it was really surprising because they both were really popular. She was like really gorgeous and he was really beautiful himself. And a lot of guys and girls admired them.
And I've never been in that type of relationship, but I've seen people who are. And just the inequality of it all is kind of disheartening to see.
Unequal relationships don't just happen between boyfriends and girlfriends. Gay and lesbian couples can manipulate each other in the same way, with one person trying to gain control and dominate the other.
I think I had an expectation of like what two women in a relationship would look like, and it hasn't come out that way.
No matter where your head and heart are, the dynamic is the same. The hurt, the bad feelings, and the lack of connection.
I know I still wanted to be with him, but at the same time, I was going back to being, I started opening up that box again, and old Vanessa came out again, and he would tell me things, and no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't agree with you.
But you can't sort of bulldoze over them and expect that they're gonna nurture you, they're gonna help you, you're gonna grow with them.
I guess after he started losing control because I started going back to being myself, he started getting more angry with that.
I mean, people have the right to their own ideas and their own opinions, and to try to own something like that is not valid. You can't do that.
There was also just moments when I would say something and then instantly be like scared that there was going to be some consequence for having said that thing.
Do you think someone can love you who is afraid of you?
It had gotten to the point where he would follow me to school and see what I was doing and stuff like that. So it really did scare me, and he once told me that if he couldn't have me, no one could.
She's more than an object, she's a person, and you don't own people.
To say that you belong with someone, how is that different from belonging to someone?
What makes a relationship work?
What makes it feel good to both partners?
What do we want?
What do we want?
Okay, what are my values about relationships? What do I want them to be like? I want them to make my life bigger. Like, fear is something that makes your life smaller. Like, I'm afraid that this is gonna happen, so I can't do that. That's something that, like, shrinks us.
In situations, especially in intimate relationships, when it's not safe for you to be yourself fully, then you don't bring yourself. There's a defensive, there's walls up. And for me, it's about breaking through all the walls and really being able to connect with someone. And if I'm trying to just tell them what to do, there's no chance for that to happen.
If one person is at one place and another person's at another place, then I don't think the relationship is gonna work. You both have to be at the same place and be able to grow together. And if someone's making all the decisions, how is the other person growing?
And that's one of the benefits I think I get from it, is that I can come to her and I can tell her what I feel, what I think. I can ask her how she's feeling or what should we do, and it's not all about me, it's also about her.
With all the hype and media messages we get on how to act, getting a good relationship can seem like the impossible dream.
But if we can practice equality by respecting our partner and respecting their right to be who they are,
if we can respect ourselves enough to hold on to those same values, then connecting with our boyfriend or girlfriend can be a reality.
If I listen to my culture or my society, intellectually it's telling me to be in control. Like, that's where I'm supposed to be. But my heart is telling me something different.
It's all that I know.